let's start. And yeah, my name is Xaver. At first, thank you, Edward, for inviting me to this session, and also thank you for my audience and to my guests for the presence here. And I think the reason why I'm here and why you are here today is that all of us have the same dream, a world without traffic accident. At the beginning of the presentation, I would like to give you several words about myself. I have engineering and business background, as well as have completed studies in Germany, China, and US. As I was a child, I injured in a traffic accident. Therefore, I understand at least partly the feeling of a traffic accident victim. Therefore, I'm passionate about road safety in urban mobility. Therefore, I believe prevention is better than cure if it's related to road safety, if it's related to Vision Zero. And this is also the reason why I'm a part of the team Mercedes-Benz Urban Mobility Solutions. Maybe you have already your first question to this presentation. What can Mercedes-Benz as a vehicle manufacturer contribute to road safety? I will answer this question from the view of our urban mobility solutions in next 10 or 15 minutes. I just share my slide with you and then you will see. Where is it? I just shared. Okay. Yeah. And from my perspective, the world is changing rapidly. 2 decades ago, vehicle played the dominant role in urban mobility. Afterwards, more and more organizations, companies, and individual citizens are becoming a part of urban mobility. For example, not only vehicle manufacturers, but also city governments, public transport providers, sharing mobility service providers, and so on, as well as pedestrians and cyclists, especially since 2020. I believe that only if all of them actually all of us come together, we have the chance to shape intelligent and sustainable urban mobility together. We as the team, Urban Mobility Solutions, want to contribute to urban mobility. If we want to contribute to urban mobility, the first step is to understand which challenges urban mobilities as well as cities are facing. We have talked with multiple cities in the world. On the one hand, every city is different. We need to respect the difference of these cities. Every city has its own legacy, history, tradition, culture, behavior, and so on. On the other hand, they face many default challenges. For example, they want to fulfill Vision Zero. I just activate my laser scanner, laser point, and they want to fulfill Vision Zero to realize carbon neutral, to fulfill mobility demands of citizens with limited resource, and to provide alternatives to encourage walking, cycling, and public transport. Today, I will focus on road safety. And if we would like to contribute to road safety, we asked ourselves why we are suitable for this mission and what we have. Mercedes-Benz, as a vehicle manufacturer, has delivered more than 14 million connected vehicles. Our vehicle generates more than 25 gigabyte data per hour. I believe it is only the beginning of the whole journey. The vehicles are distributed in more than 15 countries. The data collected from the vehicles in the whole world is our powerful tool. We believe that a city can't really make a right decision without data nowadays. However, data is also a sensitive topic, especially in our Europe, because of our Europe has GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. In Mercedes-Benz, data protection has the highest priority. That means only if our customers of Mercedes-Benz give us explicit consent, the data is anonymized and shared for third-party use case. For example, for road safety in cities. In other words, the customers have always the full transparency and control for the data. Based on the data, we have created a big product portfolio to help cities master challenges. For example, road safety and slippery roads to contribute to Vision Zero. Traffic lanes, signs, wavelets, and potholes help road authorities enhance efficiency and enable data-driven maintenance. In this presentation, I will focus on road safety. As you may know, Mercedes-Benz has one of the most advanced driver assistance systems in the world. We use them to connect the data. For example, pre-save, detect possible collisions with side and rear impact, active brake assist, prevents accidents with crossing pedestrians and cyclists, active blind spot assist gives you warning if a cyclist is located in your blind spot. In the past, the data was hidden in Mercedes-Benz vehicles. In other words, the data was only applied to protect passengers and drivers inside of vehicles. Since 2016, 2018, we have been connecting them for road safety of cities and protect the people outside of Mercedes-Benz vehicles, step by step. And sometimes the data of the interventions connected by the ADS of the vehicles are sent to our cloud and analyzed by our intelligent road safety algorithms. Hundreds of thousands of interventions with cyclists and pedestrians vehicles are evaluated to uncover hotspots and get insight behind the hotspots. Maybe data is sometimes too abstract for some of you. Therefore, I just give you a concrete example from our cooperation with Transport for London in the last 2 years. For example, the public sector in London told us 2 crashes have already happened near Buckingham Palace before. However, our vehicles have already connected hundreds of interventions and near misses, for example, with cyclists, pedestrians. After feeding the data into our algorithms, the system identifies a hotspot with the GPS coordinates nearby and get insight. The insight tells you not only that possible accidents may happen in evening hours or at weekend, but also the root cause. The root cause consists of 2 key points. The pedestrian, for example, the pedestrian use shortcuts to cross the street, as no crosswalk is available, because at the other side of the street, there's bus stations. Many pedestrians just use the shortcuts to catch buses. The shortcut is located behind the corner, and drivers have normally bad view during driving. Therefore, we have already detected or identified and for the city, we connect firstly road safety related data and events, and detected by vehicle sensors. Based on the data, we analyze them in cloud, in our central platform. Thirdly, we match our data and insight with third-party data from cities and authorities. For example, such data could also from your public sector, historic crash data or somehow. At the end, We provide the digital platform to public sectors and organizations to make road safety improvement possible. In order to make the solution easy to use, the solution is also integrated into our dashboard. In this case, you don't need any engineering know-how and get insight from the first day on. Additionally, you can apply our API and to integrate the solution into your IT system. That means you have the full flexibility to use the data, to use the insight. As mentioned before, the dashboard visualizes hotspots on the map and it gives you true guidance. Based on our insight gate, we help you identify right mitigation measures to improve road safety and allocate budget effectively. For example, in the case of Buckingham Palace, the crosswalk is missing. Therefore, the city could just invest to add the crosswalk to solve the issue. Mercedes-Benz has big data, as I mentioned before, related to road safety, while your city has also lots of data. For example, many cities have decades of historic crash data. When, where, which traffic accident happened, or the serious traffic accident happened. In this case, we can match our data with yours to learn more from them, to understand, for example, the root cause of such traffic accidents. Additionally, we help you identify gaps between black spots and danger zones unknown before to provide you insight for the road network in your city. Based on the hotspots identified, public sectors invest resources to implement measures to improve their road safety, to improve their roads. In this case, Road Safety Dashboard helps you compare the data before with after. Yeah, for example, you can compare the road safety data in last year with this year to check if your measures are really effective or not. We have been co-creating the solution with Transporter for London together since 2019. That means we, with Transporter for London, we contribute together to the Vision Zero of London. We provide big data and insight about near misses, safety critical hotspots, and crashes. Transport for London gives us very positive feedback because we empower them to prevent traffic fatalities before a crash happens. In other words, from reactive planning to proactive planning. And if you have interest, you can also check our press release to find more details. And at the beginning of my presentation, I mentioned that personally, I believe prevention is better than cure. I think this solution could also help you towards this direction. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation. And yeah, actually, I will be very glad to talk with cities and to partner with your cities. And because only in this case, we can combine our insight and your insight together to make the world without traffic accident. I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Xavier. We already have a couple of questions in, so let's get this started. I'll start with the first question, which asks, what percentage of your customers give their permission for you to use their data?
Normally, so far as I know, this is about 15% or 16% in this area.
Okay, we'll move on to a second question, which says, you have focused on London in this presentation. Is your system also available for other cities to use?
Yes, actually, this is what we would like to do. We would like to help more and more cities in UK. That means not only London. And normally, our road safety dashboard works very well in big cities. That means if you want, for example, Liverpool, Birmingham, Manchester, such big cities, we connect enough data, we can get insight from the data, and we look forward to partnering with the public sector of such big cities, and then together contribute to Vision Zero.
Excellent. I will just add at this stage that this presentation has been recorded, so we'll upload it to the festival website. So if you want to pick up Javier's email that's on the slides, so you'll be able to do so on the festival website. A third question from Neil Gregg. He asks, apparently ADAS systems often struggle to detect e-scooters. Do Mercedes have a solution for this?
To be honest, especially for e-scooters, I need to talk with our expert. And so far as I know, our system can recognize, for example, pedestrians and cyclists. For e-scooters, I need to talk with our experts in this area, and maybe I will come back to this colleague later. If you give me your email address, then I will come back to you after talking with our experts.
Yeah, no problem. I can facilitate that. And so just sort of similar back again. I guess this might be via your email, but questions coming saying, how can other cities express interest in having dashboards in their area?
What do you mean here? Actually, I don't really understand this question.
So if there are other cities who want to use the dashboard, how do they make contact? Who do they
if your city has interest in our dashboard, you can just contact me. And as you see, my contact info is listed here. You can just contact me, and then for example, we could schedule a follow-up meeting, and then we could give you more details, not all such general details, but really details for your city. You know what I mean? That means, for example, we can tell you how much hotspots we have already connected in your city, specific. Yeah, this is you can just contact me. I'm glad to help you improve road safety in your city.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, the presentation will be uploaded to the festival website, so you'll be able to pick up Javier's email from there. Just another question along the sort of similar lines: is the dashboard available free of charge, or is there a cost?
To be honest, we would like to at first partner with cities, and then talk about price if you have the interest. And because as I mentioned, every city is different, and we don't believe that we have a solution for all the cities in this UK. We would like to adapt our solution to your city. For example, as I mentioned, your city has also crash data, for example, for last 20 or 30 years, and this is the data we don't have. And then we could, for example, match your data with ours, and we partner with each other. After that, we could talk about pricing or something else, if you want.
Excellent, thanks. So we've got one more question here. Data obviously has value. How can we give some of that back to car owners in the form of a new source of individual income?
That means I have no idea if I have already understood this question correctly. That means if individual drivers could also benefit from such database solution. That means, for example, as additional income for individual drivers, right? This is the question.
Yeah.
I would say that it could be a new business model, and currently more in this area because, as you see, it is related to data. It is very sensitive, and we need to talk with. Not everyone has the intention to generate revenue from such data. For example, some of our customers just share their data with us because we tell them we contribute your data to road safety of cities. Not everyone have the same target, and therefore, this is we would like to talk with really different people, different party to find out if it's possible or not. This is difficult to answer this question directly in this session, but this is from my point of view, it could be possible in the future.
We've got one more question in the chat at the moment, so I'll just read that out, and then if nobody else has got any questions, we'll draw the session to a close. The question is there scope for using your system to warn drivers when they're approaching a collision hotspot?
What does this question mean? That means if there's any simple approach to benefit from such a dashboard, that means, for example, give some warnings to drivers or somehow. This is
yes. So, for example, if a driver was driving towards a hotspot, is there a way they could be notified that they're approaching one?
From my point of view, this is it is a decision. It could be a decision of public sector, of city government. For example, if we provide our dashboard, our city, our hotspots to public sector for city government, and then the city government can make decision how they would like to utilize or benefit from the dashboard. For example, for this Buckingham Palace, the example I mentioned before, yes, you can invest your money or resource to add additional crosswalk here. But it is possible that it doesn't happen from today to tomorrow. And to make it simple, you could also, for example, just hang an additional warning sign nearby, and that means just tell them slow down and slow down your vehicle, and in this case maybe the traffic accident could be already avoided or somehow reduced. And this is I think this is a decision of public sector how they would like to utilize or benefit from the dashboard. And we could also, for example, give them some suggestions from our experience with cooperation with the other cities. This is also possible, but the final decision, I think, is made by public sector.
That's a very thorough answer, and I think that's probably a good place to. Sorry, we have a follow-up question. Sorry, just to interrupt. What I'm asking is whether the system itself could issue an alert to the driver. So I guess whether the system, if there was the technological way that the system could alert the driver, perhaps through the vehicle.
Okay. You mean inside of Mercedes-Benz vehicles or general all the vehicles?
I guess both. I guess yeah. Would it be possible within Mercedes-Benz vehicles, and then as a follow-on, would it be possible in other vehicles?
Yeah, I think it is possible. It is possible, and inside of Mercedes-Benz, it could be relatively easy, but we need to, for example, coordinate with the other department to make it possible. But before we improve something or we implement something, and if you want to, for example, send alerts or warnings to the other drivers of vehicle, the drivers of the other vehicles from the other companies, then normally, for example, I would say the public sector could also play a role in this area. They could have also such a city app, and they could also publish such hotspots in their city app. Then every drivers in the city could see, or they could be informed in such a city app. And in this case, they get information in time. And because we, from Mercedes-Benz perspective, it is difficult to send our message to the other vehicles. You know what I mean? Maybe we can achieve it inside of Mercedes-Benz fleets, but we have hardly chance to send such messages to the other vehicles. Maybe a public sector could help us.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that is a good place to wrap up this session. It's been a very interesting presentation, so thanks. Thanks, Javed, and thanks everybody who's sort of joined in the Q&A. Yeah, to make for a very interesting session. As I mentioned a couple of times, we have recorded the session, and I'll endeavour to make it available on the website this afternoon for anybody who wants to catch up, and obviously those, if you've got any colleagues who were unable to attend, who you think may be interested, they can no doubt catch up too. So all that's left to me to say is thanks again, Javed, and thanks everybody for attending.
Yeah, thank you very much, Edward. And as I mentioned, if any city, if any of you has interest in our dashboard about say road safety in your city, then please contact me, and then we would like to partner with your city to contribute to Vision Zero of your city.